Hey everyone, welcome to another segment of Nerd Herders. My name is Rich.
I'm Nick.
Today we're talking about what we're up to. So Nick, tell us, what have you been up to?
Well, it's funny you should say that. I've got two things.
Okay.
The first of which is I finished the final chapter of Telltale's Batman season 1. So I can report on that in its entirety. It's good. The story is really good.
Cool.
It definitely does. It does a lot of things that if you're a Batman fan, it does a lot of things that you would not be expecting. They're definitely creating their own universe here. There are lots of changes to characters and a new villain that's pretty interesting, especially the identity of that villain, and a lot of interesting stuff. Cool world building. And of course, it's got the Telltale thing where your choices affect the way that the game is played.
Some of the stuff I've been hearing, reading, like the choices, like really drastically.
Yeah, I mean, like your choices of what kind of Batman you're going to be really alter the perception of Batman. Like whether if you are like a ruthless Batman, the news reports will be like talking about how violent and dangerous and scary you are, and if you're more of a hero type Batman, then it is he the savior of Gotham, that type of thing, and also characters becoming or not becoming, comic versions of themselves is affected, that type of stuff. It's really good. It's incredibly buggy.
Okay, that was gonna be my next question. If it was as buggy for you as I've been hearing as well.
Now, I've played each episode for the most part as they've come out. Like episode 5, I played it the day it came out. I didn't want the end of the story to somehow get ruined for me. And I'll play like episode 3, and then a couple days later I'll be playing something else, and it will be like update file. So I think that they are patching this thing.
Okay.
I don't know why it's not just ready, day of, but
because most games aren't.
But
anymore.
like episode 5. When I watched it, or when I mean, in a way, it is kind of like watching those games. But when I played that game, there were multiple times where there were characters that were just floating eyeballs.
Yeah, I heard there's.
I don't know. In one of the groups that we're on Facebook, somebody posted a picture.
Yeah.
That same character was floating eyeballs for me as well. So
Good old Telltale.
It's a problem. It takes you out of some of the moments. Fortunately, it wasn't any of the big moments. I think I said when I played episode 2, which recreates the scene we've seen 1,000 times involving Batman and his parents. When I played through that, his mother was just eyeballs. Which
now, have you had it crash on you at all?
Yes.
Okay.
Episode 2 did.
Okay.
After that moment, but I did wait for episode 4 I played it the day before 5 came out, so it was like 3.5 weeks after, and it played fine. There was an update to it. It was fine. There was no issues at all. And there
maybe
was
I'll
already
wait a month or two and
today there already was an update 1.05.
Okay.
So I think they've already patched the issues with 5. So I think if you played it now, it would be a fine experience.
Okay.
I just don't understand these games, and yes, they're putting these episodes out pretty quickly, but like they are nowhere near as technologically advanced as anything else almost on the market. I don't know why they have these issues. I don't know why they don't seem to care.
Yeah.
They're more about the story, and the story is great. But like I also, and I haven't started it, but I got the 3rd season of The Walking Dead, The New Frontier. I got the first 2 episodes of that the other day. And I think I'm going to wait a little bit to start them.
Yeah.
Because in something that is so story driven, it does take you out of it when some of these things happen.
that's because I mean I still haven't played any Telltale games. I do want to play Batman at some point. I do want to do The Walking Dead. I'm excited about Guardians, but every time I always hear issues about its bugginess and its engine and this and that, and it's like you've been doing these for so long.
And they honestly have not changed very much at all since The Walking Dead, 5 years ago.
They make so much money on this. They can't not have the money to put into it. But I guess until people stop buying it. They definitely have a lot of
money. I mean, that's the thing. Until you really show them that it's not okay that this happens. But as they keep getting these huge properties and these stories that I want to hear, and when they shock me, like I talked about a couple months ago with how good something I wasn't even interested in, Tales of the Borderlands, I can't help but keep playing them because they are excellent storytellers.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate that the experience was somewhat shaded by this or jaded by it, but it was still a great experience that I would definitely recommend anyone who's a fan of Batman, experiences. The other thing, and I think you saw this movie as well.
Yeah.
I saw La La Land, which I kind of talked about in the news segment. I loved this movie.
Okay.
I really did. I really, the film, I was excited about it. I was interested in it. I hadn't seen much of it. I think the first time that I saw the full trailer was actually like, I overheard Dana watching it before we went to the movie. I didn't watch it with her. It was just it was a cinematic breath of fresh air. I mean, it's so wonderfully made. It's such a nice callback to classic Hollywood musicals while also being very modern and new. I love the story. And the themes of the story really, there was a lot of it that really spoke to me. Maybe we can talk a bit about that if we go into a little bit of spoilers or something at the end. But I totally recommend the movie, and I'm interested to hear what you thought about it.
It's one of the biggest turnarounds I've done in a movie in a long, long time.
Interesting.
Like, I went into it, I heard nothing but amazing things from people. I think I'd only seen the trailer once or a teaser once or something. But I hated it at first. I was not into it at all. And part of that might have been because I wasn't really in a great mood when I got to the theater. So it was like, I'm sitting there like, I'm just not into this. Is it because I'm in a bad mood? What's going on? And I'd also seen Moana recently, which I liked. I wasn't head over heels for, like it's kind of getting praised for, but I did really enjoy it. But one of the things that I wasn't super thrilled with was, like, I didn't think the music was all that special in it. Like, I thought it was fine, but nothing
interesting,
amazing. Overall, I did like the movie. We talked about the Mad Max reference and stuff. I thought that was cool. So I was sitting in La La Land going, am I just maybe over musicals? Like, is this... And then, like, right around the 20 or 30 minute mark, like, something just clicked and I was just on board. And by the end of it, I was in love with it. Like, I love it.
Yeah.
I do plan on seeing it again. I know...
I can't wait to see it again. I hope it comes to the theater right by us.
Because I think it's supposed to go wide, I think, this weekend or another week or two. I'm going to take my girlfriend to see it because I think she'll like it. And I want to see it again. And maybe with a different mindset, I might feel differently about the beginning. But, like, that whole opening sequence, I was just not into.
I loved how cinematic it was, the way the camera flowed. And see, the interesting thing about seeing it again, and I was still, like, feeling out the music. And you're always feeling out, like seeing people do this. It always, because we only see musicals every once in a while, it is always like, all right, let me get my mind into
that's the thing.
This aspect of it.
The music isn't, like, super catchy either.
But see,
but
I agree, but I don't agree anymore.
Okay.
Because the entire day at work today, I had to do... I've been at my computer at work nonstop for 2 weeks with this stupid project. And all day, I probably listened to the soundtrack all the way through about 6 times today.
Wow.
And so, like, now the songs are very catchy, especially that one. There's that one, and then there's the one the first song that Emma Stone sings with her roommates.
Okay.
That initially, when I saw the movie,
where she doesn't even really...
She doesn't sing too much in it. It's mostly the roommates. And then you were like, "Are you?"
Well, that was my thing. Like, is this going to be like a musical where, like,
some really great
where, like, neither lead even sings? Like,
right.
That would be really interesting. Like, what are they going to?
But it's not. But I was impressed with the filmmaking in those scenes. I wasn't impressed with the songs.
Yeah.
But I think I've really come around on the songs and seen it a second time. Will be very interesting.
So I think it's the cinematic thing you mentioned. I think is interesting because it walks this line of being very cinematic, while also at a lot of times feeling like a stage musical or like an older Hollywood musical where it is just kind of staged and they just sort of let the actors and dancers kind of do their thing.
Which I love. There's a great moment. The poster, them at that light post, and they have this whole tap dance and this whole dance, and I was so happy that they didn't cut from any of that, so that you see it's just them. It's just it's all in one take. That was very old school Hollywood. Yeah. And I appreciated that so much. And there is all these different cinematic flourishes, new and old, throughout the entire thing. which I really appreciate. It's very well made. And one thing that one of my first thoughts when I got out of it was, I've owned Whiplash for a year. I need to sit down and finally watch it.
Oh, you haven't even seen it once.
No.
Oh man.
Yeah. So
you're in for a treat on that one. But yeah, like by the end of it, like their chemistry between them.
Well, they have had 3 movies.
I know, but I mean, like even you saw Crazy Stupid Love, like their chemistry was great then, but like it really shines in this of like how good they are together.
And well, I would like to talk spoilers.
Okay, we'll save it at the
end. So what else have you seen?
So I saw Moana. I really did like it. I think it's good. I think it's solid. Just something about it just didn't. I wasn't. Oh my god, it's amazing. But I did really enjoy it. Like I still think like Kubo is the best animated film I've seen this year.
I mean,
like,
I definitely see Kubo. I own that, but.
And I would almost probably put Zootopia over it.
I mean, Zootopia is a great movie for me. And I'm very confident in saying this, having thought about it. And again, Dana, that's all that she listens to is the soundtrack to that. I gotta say, I really think that there was a strong effort. Maybe their best of. I really think it's their best animated effort in a very long time.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, I do. I did. I'm trying not to sound negative because I'm not negative on the movie at all. But I did. I like it more, a hell of a lot more than Frozen. I do like the songs more. And I think maybe I wasn't expecting it to be a musical. That might have been an issue. Because, like, the last few kind of, like, Disney animated movies weren't.
Yeah, for sure.
So I was maybe just kind of thrown off by it. And, like, oh, okay. Like, this is where it's going. And, like, they are, like, her stuff is really good. Yeah. Some of the Village stuff I could take or leave where they do their whole...
Yeah. Yeah, I thought that, she has her big standout song that they do a couple variations of.
Yeah.
And then I thought in the vein of, the Genie's big song and some of the other big, side character songs, I actually really liked The Rocks. I thought that it was entertaining, it's funny. He does a good job. And
he's great.
The words are very witty and stuff like that.
The girl they got to play Moana is great.
Yeah, she's good, yeah.
But I do overall, I really like the movie. Saw Rogue One again, which I loved even more the second time.
Good.
And then I started playing Super Mario Run.
Oh yeah, I played that too.
Now,
how have you been playing this? I've been on an iPad or.
My girlfriend has an iTouch.
Oh, okay.
So I downloaded on her iTouch, and I haven't bought it yet. I've only played like the free
the first three
levels, and I really like it. I want to play more. I'm eventually gonna just buy it off of. But see, I'm running this thing of like, well, do I buy it on hers and play through it, or do I wait for the Android and then have to do it all over? Then do it all over again, because I am gonna get it when it comes to Android. But it's one of those. It's a Nintendo game through and through. It's easy to play but difficult to master. And she was watching me start it up, and it's like giving the tutorial, and he moves over the Goomba, and he's like, well, what do you do? Like, if he's doing all this for you, it plays itself. And then once you start collecting the coins and you start doing on that, it's like, okay, like this is what it is.
Yeah, no, it's definitely a lot of fun. I've been going through and mainly just trying to beat levels, and then eventually, because I feel like for me, I could just not move on from each level until you get all 5, items and all that. But I figure what would be more fun is playing through it entirety once and then playing through, because I did buy it.
Okay.
So I'm like through the 5th world of whatever there is on there, 7 maybe.
Yeah, I think so.
It's awesome. It's a really fun experience. It's what but different in that he will automatically hop over.
But but it throws you off at first having played all those old games, but once you get the hang of it and you figure it out, like it all makes sense.
Yeah.
So like I did kind of what you did, but it was only 3 levels. So like I played through all 3 of them. I was like, okay, I got it, and then I went back one night.
It doesn't let you go to the castle, right?
No, it only does those first 3 worlds. So I did those first 3 worlds, and then like the next night I went back, and I'm like, I'm gonna sit down, and I'm gonna play through, and so I got all three sets of 5 coins in each one, going through them, and it's great. Have you gone through any of them to get all the coins yet, or no?
Well, I did. I got them on like a playthrough.
Okay.
On 1 or 2.
So,
but no, I haven't tried.
But
I
you
haven't
haven't gone back for
and then gone back. No.
Okay. Yeah, it's really cool because in some of them, it changes the level a little bit. It changes the placement of blocks, changes the placement of coins.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So, and there's a couple of them where it even, like, in just slightly changes, like, the level structure just a little bit. And then it's like, oh, now I gotta figure out how to do this, like, double jump and jump on this thing and jump. Oh, I gotta fall off. It's like, it's really interesting.
That's cool.
So I'm curious to see the whole thing.
Yeah, there's definitely levels where they do some definitely different designs to what you've grown accustomed to through playing through them. Like the first, maybe only Ghost House is a totally different design from all the others.
Cool.
As you would imagine from those. And there's like another one where basically the entire one, if you hit the right boxes, you can have, the star all the way through.
Yeah.
And it's very fast paced and fun, that one. It's awesome.
Do you think the $10 price point's fair? Because I've seen a lot of people bitch about this. I'm like, yeah, here's $10.
For the
take
quality,
it.
That's how I felt too. I don't
Okay.
feel bad at all that I paid it. I think that for the quality of the experience, yeah, and I'm assuming, and I could be wrong, that there's going to be like DLC for this down the line, like, But even if it is only what it is, and it won't be, yeah, I'm not upset. Is it on the higher end? Yeah, but I think that Nintendo should also establish that it's on the higher end.
And it's them saying this is a quality product.
They announced this morning that there were 40 million downloads. I'd like to know how many
actually bought the
purchases they're at.
Yeah, so we both really like that. I did see one other thing before we jump into La La Land spoiler talk. I just saw it today. I don't know if you saw on Facebook that I posted about it.
I saw that you were at a movie. I have no idea what it was.
I saw Assassin's Creed.
Oh, how was that?
Not good. It's not unwatchable. It's not awful, but it is not good. It reminds me in some ways of Sucker Punch, which I know you really like, but like not all of the characters in it, for the most part, feel like video game characters. Like there's very little time. Have you played? I've never played an Assassin's Creed game, and you have.
Yeah, I played one.
So there's very little time before you get into the Artemis, the Adamus, whatever the hell it's called. Like in the movie, like there's just a really short intro, and then boom, we're there. So there's really not much time to develop Fassbender's character.
That's interesting because the trailers kind of made me think that it was almost all going to be out of that.
No. So there's that, and so the whole time, like, Fassbender just feels kind of like a video game character where you don't really have much depth, and it's like, okay, he's here to move your gameplay forward, but not really care about anything. And the reason I say it's like Sucker Punch is they do take you into, and the time period for this is Spain, and they do take you into like 3 or 4 times, like the events of what's happening. They're these big grand action set pieces, which are really cool. But because they're just memories and there's no real stakes and you don't really know, it's not like you know any of the other assassins, like Sucker Punch, for all its problems, like each girl does very much have a very distinct personality. They very much are characters and you learn about them. And as they go through each action sequence, you get more of their character development and stuff. And there's really none of that. Like, they're just this big set piece that's just a memory, so there's no stakes. It doesn't really mean anything. And then back to reality. And then there's kind of that a couple times. And the ending feels very anticlimactic.
It's such a shame because I really thought that this movie, with Fassbender shepherding it from the beginning, then they got that director of Macbeth and the rest of the cast, Jeremy Irons, Marion Cotillard.
I mean, the cast
I was
is
just
great.
like, this movie has I really thought it had the potential to be the first legitimately good video game movie, and then it started to become clear that maybe it won't be because it was like really like no buzz and all this.
It's just
and
meh. Like there's
such a shame.
The sequences are cool, but they ultimately don't mean anything because you don't care about any of these characters.
That's a shame.
And even like some of the supporting cast they're good actors. Like it's got the guy from The Wire and Community. I can't remember the gentleman's name. He was the biology professor like in season 3 of Community. I think he was on The Wire.
Oh yeah.
Like he's in it.
Mm-hmm.
But like they don't really do much with any of these extra characters, and so none of the stakes. It's just
Michael something Williams, Michael K. Williams.
Yeah, I think, and so it just doesn't do anything.
That's a shame. I don't even know if I'm gonna go see it at this point.
If you get 2 hours to kill on Movie Pass, nothing else to see, go see Rogue.
We'll see.
Rogue One again.
Yeah, I still can because paid the first time.
I can too. Paid both times.
So let's talk a bit about La La Land.
Cool.
So spoilers from here on out. You can find us on Twitter. I'm at Stonks.
I'm at Rich Belson. Channels on Twitter _official. YouTube.com/overbeer and Facebook.com/overbeer. So La La Land spoilers.
Yeah. So in this household, one of the most controversial things is the way that this movie wraps up.
Mm-hmm.
Now, here's my take on. I don't think it's that sad. I think that it's heartbreaking, but it's not sad because and this kind of, for me, why on top of just loving the performances, liking the music, loving the way it was made, why this movie really connected with me, and maybe you can relate on a certain level. Let me know, is the concept of having a dream and then not really being able to live out that dream really connected to me. Because my entire life I wanted to work in movies. Like it was the only thing that I ever wanted to do.
And you're doing this dumb show.
Yeah, and then when I did it, it wasn't what I dreamt of it being.
Okay.
And after doing it for a while, it was like, this isn't what I want to do. And now I don't know what to do. And so that's definitely a theme. The theme of having a dream and it not becoming a reality is certainly a prevalent part. And it becomes the opposite. They both get their dream.
Yeah.
But then it was the importance of, what if your dream really is what makes you happy? Is it okay for one of those people not to live that dream so that the other can? And that's like really what the whole ending is it shows you that they would have been happy together. But he's still in the back of his mind always wanted to open that club. And in the version of life where they're together, he doesn't. And
she doesn't do her thing either.
Well, no, she still became a star.
That's right. Yeah.
She still got to live her dream, but he didn't, and so it wasn't. It's a better outcome when they both do.
But watching it and seeing that scene start to play out, I was like, wow, they're really gonna go here. Like I was kind of impressed there. I was like, wow, this is just gonna be a downer of an ending after this really kind of bright and colorful, mostly upbeat kind of movie. And then they do that great, almost like American in Paris type, like musical dream sequence. And you're like, wow, this. And then they just that moment of them kind of acknowledging each other and like congrats, good job.
And an acknowledgement that like she has that line to him when they're sitting in a park, which is very reminiscent. And the way that it plays out is slightly reminiscent of the ending of 500 Days of Summer. She says, I'm always going to love you. And I think that in that moment, it is an acknowledgement, like, I always will love you, but we're both doing what we dreamt of doing.
Yeah. We both have our own path. I think they even say we both have our own paths to follow.
Yeah.
We have to... I love the movie, from start to finish. I know that it took you a little bit. I think it'd be interesting when you do see it again to see if, like, the whole movie clicks now knowing what it was. It really was. I mean, I feel like it was just instantly one of the most memorable movie watching experiences I've had in a long time. Like, it was really like the whole time I was so into it. And then it was like, because she hated it so much because of how it ended, it really was kind of like... But she was into it up to that point, right?
I know, but then, it ruined it.
Well, sure.
But and I can see, and also, but that's the thing, like, it is open to interpretation how you feel about that ending.
Yeah.
Like, seeing how great they were together, and then how they would have had, like, they still look very much in love, very happy when you're seeing the path where they're together, where she's living her dream, he's happy, they have a kid, they look happy. There's not a moment where he doesn't look happy until, you know, they show him going by the club that's playing music that the type of club he would have wanted to open, and then that's when it delves into him, the reality, because in the back of your mind there still would always be that. But if you think that would be enough to still be happy with somebody you're so clearly with, then the ending would be very upsetting.
Yeah.
So it can be read either way. In my opinion, it ends in the best possible way.
I think you're 100% accurate on the mark of saying it's heartbreaking but not sad.
Yes.
Like, because
they are great together.
They are definitely happy doing the things that they love, but you want them to be together just because how great they are together and how great their chemistry is and how the movie plays out. And so it's heartbreaking that they can't both have their dreams and have each other, but it ends on a note of we're both doing what we love, we're both living our lives, but we still, you know, we always have, say us, but we'll always
have Paris.
Yeah, kind of.
It was great. It was, you know, I didn't really know what to expect. Obviously, you hear the buzz, you hear that it's doing so well, and all these limited run and this and that. And
every
other people.
Person I know who saw it was just like,
but then,
this is the best.
I frequently worry about movies that have that kind of everybody's loving this and that, because a lot of times those are the movies that let me down the hardest. Like when everybody likes it, sometimes I get very annoyed before like something like a Napoleon Dynamite or something where I'm just like, I hate this. I hate that everybody loves this.
Well, and that's like partially how I was in the beginning too. I was like, what am I missing? Or is everybody just like blind? Like, is it like not a Napoleon Dynamite, but is it like that kind of thing where you're just like, what the hell? What do people see in this?
My biggest, the biggest equal film that I could relate it to, and we'll see if this ends up winning Best Picture, then it's definitely equivalent. And I know we're almost out of time. Is The Artist? I hated The Artist. I hate that movie. And I was afraid it would be another one of those.
I enjoyed it the first time I saw it. And then I think I saw it again, and I was just like, it's fine. I never thought it was a Best Picture-worthy movie, though.
No. I would be... And there's been some good movies, and we'll probably do like a lead-up, and we'll see if it even gets nominated. But I would be thrilled if this won multiple awards. I really would. I think that this is a movie that will stand the test of time for me. Then that's... That when I think of what is the Best Picture, like, I hate that there are so... And we've talked, does it really matter if you can win Academy Awards? No.
Sure.
But I always get so annoyed when I feel like that instantly that movie doesn't matter anymore that won, and it won, and it's forever going to be a Best Picture winner. Yeah. I don't feel like this would ever be in that place, because the themes of this movie are so strong. And it is also such a great love letter to musicals and to Hollywood and everything else.
Like, even something like last year, like Spotlight won, which I think is an amazing movie. I haven't really heard anything much about that since.
I mean, I love that movie.
I do too.
But, I mean, I agree. It doesn't feel like a movie that, like, for years and years, people will tell their kids, like, don't forget to watch Spotlight. Yeah. It's not going to happen.
Like, of the movies I think are from last year, as much as I love it, Spotlight isn't always on the top of that list.
I legitimately
think this is different.
This is the kind of movie that I will just always want to revisit. I'll just have to do it when she's not home. So, I'd love to know what people thought of La La Land. Let us know.
Maybe we'll break this out too.
Yeah.
So let us know in the comments below what you thought of La La Land or anything else we talked about. Or you can tweet at me. I'm on Twitter at Rich Belson.
I'm at Stonks.
The channel's on Twitter at OABeer_official. You can find us on Facebook at facebook.com/overabeer. We're on Instagram at over_a_beer. And of course, right here at youtube.com/overabeer. That'll wrap things up for today, though. So next time, drink up, and we'll see you in the new year.
Oh.
Yeah.
Really?
Because this is going to go up
Holy moly.
the week after Christmas.
Wow.
And then New Year's that weekend.
I believe you.
Yeah. So we'll see you in the new year, 2017. Some big fun stuff maybe planned.